This is the top 10 BGG climbers for the week ending 11/18/2020. This is based on the list by Michael Alexander here, and I'll include a link in the description if you're interested in subscribing to the Geeklist. And also, if you like this video, please look at the other videos on my channel and please subscribe. So let's take a look at the list, starting at the bottom. So these are the biggest fallers. Now, I want to talk a little briefly about Chronicles of Crime. I think this has landed about where I expected it to. I think it maxed out earlier this year, and it's starting to fall. I think the novelty of the system is worn off, and we're getting more into that it's a lighter weight game that typically is going to have a harder time being at the top. And Tainted Grail. So this is an interesting one. This was a game that came out to amazing reviews. I think over time it's fallen. I still actually haven't had a chance to play it. I've just been really busy, but I'm not too surprised. I think the novelty of the exploration system is starting to wear off, as you saw with the latest Seventh Citadel Kickstarter not doing as well as the previous Seventh Continent. So I think this is just maybe the whole exploration genre maybe needs something new to breathe more air into it. And yeah, Seventh Continent, as you can see, this one's also trending down. I thought this one was going to hit, land a little bit higher, and it's starting to fall off already. So let's get into the ones that are below the top 10 real quickly. Bonfire. So this one I think is going to continue to climb. I think it just hasn't gotten as many ratings as some of the previous weeks. So we're seeing it's still, I think, on track for top 100. Although, a couple weeks here, the reviews were a little bit low, but now it's climbing back up. This week is BGG Online or BGG Home. So there's going to be some demos of Bonfire. I think it'll probably climb after that. And PAX Premier, I guess everyone's getting their copies now, and it's jumping in ratings. This one is destined for top 100 now that the second printing has come out. I don't see how it doesn't get in there. It's probably not going to get into the top 50, but I think it's for sure top 100. And let's see here. So Paleo. This is a game I talked about. It was moving up really quickly in the last couple weeks. It's calmed down a little bit here. I think maybe the lighter nature of the game. The look is amazing, as we've talked about. So I'm just waiting to see how this does when it gets its full release. I don't think it's hit retail yet. Or maybe it's very limited retail release right now. Okay, so number 10. Oh, actually, I should talk about this. Endless Winter. So this is a Kickstarter game. I'm assuming either these ratings are... it just is on Kickstarter. I don't know if it's finished or it's going to finish really soon. I'm assuming the ratings are either based off of reviews or the typical Kickstarter hype reviews. We'll have to wait and see how it does when it comes out. It is a unique deck-building worker placement game. So Number 10, New York Zoo. So I'm not going to look into this one like we have in the past couple weeks. This is the latest Uwe Rosenberg game. Local family. So this one says sold at the local family-friendly game store. I don't think this is top 100 material just based on its rating. Although if it shows up in Target or whatever, it's probably going to do pretty well. Just because it's Uwe Rosenberg and it looks really good. And as you can see, it's already, it's trending mid-7s already. So that's not a good sign to get in the top 100. Number 9, Dwellings of Eldervale. So this one continues to climb. 414 ratings. It's already in the top 2,000s. This is guaranteed top 1,000. Probably top 500. Now, I have seen more mixed reviews lately of this. So if you're not aware, this is essentially a worker placement game in the fantasy themed worker placement game. Let's go down here to look at some of the latest pictures. I think its main selling point is it looks awesome. Like it has these hexes, which I assume are modular worker placement spaces. I haven't looked into it. It has the game trays, which really helps with games when they're done really well. It has, these cool dragon figures, and it has good artwork. So it's got a kind of the makings of a solid Kickstarter project. The fact that it does worker placement, I think, with some combat oriented stuff, maybe a la Champions of Midgard, and maybe a more complex game with some really good looking figures, I think adds to the appeal for a Kickstarter game. The downside is I think that it's only available through the publisher now, and it's really expensive post Kickstarter. So I'll be interested to see. I expect this one will probably have a second Kickstarter or a retail release at some point, and I expect it to keep climbing. So let's see where we're at. So yeah, this one I think is definitely top 500 at this point because it's still arriving to backers. People are still going to review it. People are still going to play it. Um, I think it's possible top 100 if they do a second release or if they have a retail version. We'll see. Number 8, Honey Buzz. So this is interesting. This game has been getting really solid reviews. I think it's the first time it's been on this top 10 climbers list. I think the Dice Tower did a review for this recently too. Bee worker placement game. So you're building a personal beehive by drafting honeycomb tiles that grant actions that are occurred throughout the game. That looks interesting. Let's see how this. Some really nice artwork. So who is the designer of this? Well, I don't even know him. So this seems like a new, maybe a new designer or a designer with very few games. The artwork looks good. Actually, this looks like a really. It's got a kind of unique theme. Being, I mean, I guess there are some B games out there, but like Hive and or B themed games, maybe Hive and stuff with bugs. But I think its artwork makes it probably more appealing to people. And it's got I guess, a lower complexity game, which is going to make it more. There's some memory and deduction, which I guess people. Man, I guess it was a Kickstarter game as well, maybe, or a deluxe edition that's selling for a lot. So we'll have to see how this one does. Pre-order 38, so it's not even out in retail yet. It's doing really well with its early copies, and I guess we'll have to see how it continues to do. This one I think has potential, but it's too early to decide based on the limited number of reviews. So that's number 8, Honey Buzz. Number 7, Paris. So this is a game that I think people are. I'm not gonna go in. I'm not gonna show the inside of this one. We've talked about it the last couple weeks, but basically, it's the latest game from I think Wolf. Michael Kramer. I think it's we'll go into this. I think it's Michael Kramer and Wolfgang Wars. Yeah, or Wolfgang Kramer and Michael Kiesling. There it is. So this one, I don't think has great potential. It's starting out really low. It's not really improving. You're probably looking at top 1,000 games at best with this one. I think this one's going to die out quickly. I don't think it has a great look to it. I don't think it's doing anything exceptionally innovative, and it's probably got some problems if the early ratings are this low. That's number 7, Paris. Number 6, Pandemic Legacy Season 0. So now this is a game that I think has really, really high potential. We're already at rank 2,000 with 400 reviews, and the average is actually climbing. So it started out pretty low with its first reviews and has shot up. So people must be getting their copies. As I expected, it's a Pandemic Legacy that takes a new theme. It looks good. I think this one has high potential to be top 10. If it's not top 10, it's definitely top 100. There's no doubt in my mind that this thing will reach top 100. And the reasons why is it takes the Pandemic Legacy formula, expands it with a new theme that I think I haven't played it, but the theme looks amazing. It sounds great to play, and I think it appeals to people that are tired of just fighting diseases. And ironically, it came out. There's no way they could have predicted COVID, but it came out in the year when people are probably tired about hearing about diseases and maybe want to do spy stuff. That's my thought. So I see this as being a huge hit for the holiday season. It's just becoming available. I think it's even on the Geek Store, so everyone's going to be getting it for Christmas and probably playing it, post-pandemic or playing it pre-pandemic with safe people and their family. So I think this is a definite top 100, probably top 10 game. I don't see it not doing well. And one person even commented, "We've made it through April. Things are really starting to get interesting." So number 5, Micro Macro Crime City. This thing. So we talked about this last week. This game looks really cool. It looks like a unique concept. It's got this Where's Waldo type deduction feel to it. That's what it reminds me of. But in a game format. So if you look at this, it's got some. I think it's like a giant fold-out map. Yeah, with grids, and you're trying to solve crimes in the city. From what I understand, I guess it's not, but and it's got a little magnifying glass. So I think this one has potential, and you can. It looks like you can even play with your kids, which is great. I think. So I think this thing has potential. I'm wondering what the price is going to be. It's probably not $56 like it's currently on Amazon, and I think I'll be interested in watching this one. I don't think it's going to be top 100 even, just because of its weight, but I do see this as being a game we need to watch over the next coming weeks to see how the reviews turn out for it. I think it looks unique. So that's number 5, Micro Macro Crime City. Number 4, Tidal Blade. So this one's actually, the ratings were high originally before the Kickstarter game started to get delivered. It dropped a little bit, and now it's starting to pick up a little bit as people get their copies. Now, I will say, this box, if you got the deluxe edition, I don't think I published the unboxing video yet. It is enormous. It is one massive box. So actually, I haven't published it yet, so I need to do that this week. It is a massive box. The artwork is amazing. It's done by Mr. Cunnington. I think that their artwork on this game really ties it all together. They're actually one of my favorite board game artists. I think their stuff just looks amazing. They did Charterstone artwork, and they've done a lot of other great games. This is essentially a worker placement game with, I think, a fair amount of player interaction, and it's got a unique feel because you're actually placing your heroes, and you're building up your hero stats and doing things throughout. The negatives to this game is I think it's longer than it probably needs to be. I think, and it's bigger than it needs to be, probably. But that's, again, a Kickstarter type thing. The game does look good. The deluxe production is really, really solid, and I think it's going to continue to climb. I think most of the people that got the game are going to like it. Where I think it's going to land, I think you're probably looking at definite top 500, probably top 250, but top 100 I think is going to be pushing it. I think we'll see how this goes in the next few weeks. So that's Tidal Blades, Heroes of the Reef. Number 3, Praga Kapoot Regni. Now, this is a Kickstarter game that I thought was ridiculous, if I remember right. Yeah, this is the one with I thought this one had this gimmick of these 3-dimensional, I don't know, castles, wherever they are. To me, I don't need 3-dimensional gimmicky stuff in my board games. I like miniatures, I like how they look, but I don't like cardboard 3-dimensional objects. I just don't think it adds to the game. I think it creates a lot of pain dealing with that stuff. But that's my opinion. The other thing I was kind of negative on is the artwork kind of looked ridiculous. But people must be getting their games, and it must be doing well. So let's see here. So it's got a lot of mechanics. It's done by Suki, which he's done a lot of really good game designs. I like the Pulsar 2849 a lot. And let's see what these comments say. Yeah, another point solid game, as you'd expect. A lot of mechanics. Yeah, I guess a lot of people. Yeah, a lot of people like it. We'll have to see. I don't think a lot of people have been getting their copies yet, but it has done well on the average rating, so there's potential here. We'll have to watch it in the coming week. That's number 3, the latest Suki game. And number 2, Viscounts of the West Kingdom. Now, this is kind of a surprise. I looked at this game and I said, this the so this game, Viscounts of the West Kingdom, surprised me that it's doing so well, because to me it looked like it was probably not going to be as good as Paladins, or maybe, I guess, Architects is more of a traditional uh, worker placement game, but it is doing really well. It's probably the heaviest of the games, maybe heavier than Paladins, and that maybe that's influencing it, moving up the ratings. But I guess it also has this modular board with the rondel mechanic, and it's got some sort of pool building mechanic, which I can't remember exactly what it was. It does have this weird central thing, which maybe it does the rondel a little bit differently. Uh, I'm kind of becoming a bigger fan of rondel games. I feel like these modified rondels can play really well. They give you kind of a limited scope of actions. They give you like a planning aspect to your game typically. It's got and again, it has the West Kingdom artwork, so I think that's a plus. So that is Viscounts of the West Kingdom, number 2. And number 1 is Etherfield. So this is one that is shooting up the charts. It seems like this might be kind of what we talked about earlier, which is a new type of exploration game, an exploration game that kind of expands the genre. This of course has the Awakened Realms amazing miniatures. This one looks really cool. I mean, I think going with Dream, wow, that is a detailed miniature with all the little feathers and stuff. Going with like a Dream scape makes it more wide open to create whatever you want to, instead of having this like Tainted Grail story. You have a like Dreams, you can do whatever you want, right? It's a dream. This one looks really cool. I guess this is a combination of all the miniatures here, or a lot of them. So I'll say this is one that I regret not getting. Maybe if it does well, they'll do a second printing of it, or have a retail release. Although with Awakened Realms, usually your retail releases are a bit toned down. Like I've Hellas, Lords of Hellas, and it just doesn't have all the content, right? They don't make any excuses for not including all the content in the retail version. Cool paint jobs on those. So yeah, I'm interested to see this one. I think this is going to be, we only have a few ratings to go off of. We'll have to take a look at it, but this has potential to hit top 100. I think it may end up being like Tainted Grail, where it hits top 100 and then it looks like it's falling off. We'll see. So there you have it. That is the climbers for the week ending in 11/18/2020. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you like, please subscribe. Please take a look at our other videos, and I'll put up another one next week before Thanksgiving. Thank you.